Once upon a time, nestled in a peaceful countryside village, filled with rolling green hills and charming little farms, lived a young boy. His job was simple but very important. He was a shepherd, responsible for watching over the village's flock of sheep every single day. Each morning, the boy would lead his flock across the hills, his wooden staff in hand. But as the sun moved across the sky day after day, he found himself feeling incredibly bored and lonely. The world around him was beautiful, but nothing exciting ever seemed to happen. The sheep were always calm, munching peacefully on the sweet green grass. They were happy, but their quiet grazing only made the boy's days feel longer and more uneventful. He would sit for hours, watching the fluffy white clouds drift by, wishing for something, anything, to break the monotony. Then one day, a mischievous idea sparked in his mind. A little grin spread across his face as he thought of a way to stir up some excitement and bring a little action to his quiet hillside. He took a deep breath, cupped his hands around his mouth, and shouted as loudly as he could, "Wolf! Wolf! There's a wolf chasing the sheep!" His voice echoed down the hills, startling his flock and sending a wave of panic through the quiet air. Down in the village, the hard-working people heard his desperate cries. Immediately, they dropped their tools, left their chores, and rushed up the hill, their hearts pounding with worry. They came armed with rakes, hoes, and whatever they could grab, ready to defend the boy and the flock from the fierce predator. But when the breathless villagers reached the top of the hill, they found no wolf. Not a single trace. The sheep were grazing calmly, and the boy was standing there, trying to hide a sheepish smile. The villagers were confused, looking around for the danger they had rushed to face. The boy couldn't hold it in any longer and burst out laughing. He thought his prank was hilarious. The villagers, however, did not. They were relieved that everyone was safe, but they were also disappointed and a little annoyed. Before they trudged back down the hill to their work, one of the elders gave the boy a gentle but firm warning, telling him how important it is to always tell the truth. For a while, the boy felt a little ashamed. But soon, the familiar feeling of boredom crept back in. The sun was hot, the sheep were quiet, and the day stretched endlessly before him. The memory of the villagers' excitement was too tempting. So, he decided to do it again. "Wolf, wolf!" he cried out, his voice filled with fake panic. This time, however, the villagers in the valley below simply glanced up at the hill and then went back to their work. "He's just trying to fool us again," they muttered to one another. They had learned his tricks and were not going to be made fools of a second time. They continued their farming, completely ignoring his calls. Just as the boy was feeling disappointed that his second prank had failed, a shadow fell over the edge of the nearby forest. He turned, and his heart leaped into his throat. Stepping out from between the trees was a real wolf. Its eyes were fixed on the flock, and it crept forward, its movements sleek and dangerous. The sheep bleated in terror, sensing the true danger. The boy was paralyzed with fear. This wasn't a game anymore. The wolf was getting closer, its teeth bare. Gathering all his courage, he screamed for help louder and more desperately than he ever had before. "Wolf! Wolf! Please, help me! It's real this time!" His voice cracked with genuine terror as the sheep scattered in every direction. But down in the village, no one moved. His cries reached them, but they just shook their heads, thinking it was the same old lie. No one believed him. No one came to help. The boy was completely alone on the hill as the sun began to set, casting long, lonely shadows across the fields. Fortunately, the wolf was only interested in the sheep and eventually chased one into the woods and disappeared. The immediate danger was gone, but the boy was left shaken, sitting alone on the cool grass. As the last rays of sunlight faded, he felt a deep and heavy sense of regret. He realized that his lies had destroyed the villagers' trust, leaving him helpless when he needed them most. He understood now that being honest wasn't just about telling the truth. It was about earning the respect and support of others. From that day forward, the shepherd boy was changed. He never told a lie again. He dedicated himself to his work, watching over his flock with focus and care. He learned that trust, once broken, is hard to mend, and that a life built on honesty and hard work is the only life that is truly fulfilling and secure. As he stood, watching his sheep under the warm morning sun, he finally found a quiet sense of peace and purpose he had been looking for all along. Thank you for watching our story today. If you enjoyed it, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more tales that teach and inspire. See you next time.